In the sun-drenched village of Ovia, nestled beside the whispering great river, lived a young woman named Aisha. She wasn't born to nobility or blessed with a silver tongue, but her hands, her hands were pure magic. Aisha was a weaver, and her loom sang with every thread she spun. Her fabrics were not just cloth, they were stories, vibrant with the hues of the savannah and the deep blues of the night sky. One dry season, a terrible drought gripped Ovia. The great river dwindled to a trickle, the crops withered, and the laughter that usually echoed through the village squares faded into anxious whispers. Hunger, like a silent predator, stalked every hut. The village chief, a wise but troubled old man named Obi, called a gathering. "My people," he declared, his voice heavy with sorrow, "we must seek a solution. The spirits are displeased." Many suggested rituals, others proposed desperate journeys to faraway lands, but Aisha, though shy, found her voice. "Chief Obi," she began, her voice soft but clear, "I believe the answer lies not in what we seek, but in what we have forgotten." A ripple of murmurs went through the crowd. What could a simple weaver know? "Tell us, Aisha," Chief Obi urged, his eyes alight with a glimmer of hope. "For generations," Aisha explained, "our ancestors honored the great river by offering it our finest crafts. We wove our gratitude into every fiber, acknowledging its life-giving spirit. But in our haste to grow and prosper, we have seized this tradition. The river, perhaps, feels neglected." Some scoffed. Others were intrigued. Chief Obi, however, saw the wisdom in her words. "What do you propose, Aisha?" "I will weave a gift," she said, her eyes gleaming with determination. "A fabric unlike any seen before, a testament to our profound gratitude and our hope. But I cannot do it alone. I need the help of every person in Ovia." The villagers were perplexed. How could they, who knew nothing of weaving, help? Aisha then explained her plan. "Each of you," she said, "must bring me one thread. It can be a thread from your oldest, most cherished garment, a thread from a forgotten ceremonial cloth, or even a thread from the very rope that draws water from the well. But it must be a thread that holds a memory, a hope, or a prayer for Ovia." Skepticism lingered, but the desperation was greater. Slowly, hesitantly, the villagers began to bring their threads. An old woman brought a faded red thread from her wedding shawl, a hunter offered a sturdy strand from his bowstring, a child presented a single, bright blue thread from a worn-out toy. Each thread, humble on its own, carried a piece of Ovia's soul. Aisha worked tirelessly. Day and night, the rhythmic clack-clack of her loom filled the air. With each thread, she envisioned the memories and hopes it carried, weaving them together with her own artistry. She wove in the vibrant greens of renewed crops, the shimmering blues of a flowing river, and the warm gold of a bountiful harvest. As the fabric grew, something magical happened. The air around Aisha's hut seemed to hum with a subtle energy, and a faint, sweet scent, like rain on dry earth, began to emanate from the growing tapestry. Finally, after many sunrises and sunsets, the masterpiece was complete. It was a magnificent tapestry, shimmering with countless colors, each thread a story, each pattern a prayer. It depicted the great river in all its glory, flowing generously, surrounded by flourishing fields and joyous villagers. On the day of the offering, the entire village gathered. Aisha, with the help of Chief Obi and the strongest villagers, carried the immense tapestry to the banks of the now almost dry great river. As they laid the fabric gently upon the cracked earth, a hush fell over the crowd. And then, a miracle. A tiny ripple appeared on the surface of the almost stagnant water. Then another, and another. The ripples grew, forming small currents, and a gentle gurgle began to rise from the riverbed. A collective gasp rose from the villagers as, before their very eyes, the water level began to rise, slowly at first, then with increasing speed. Within minutes, the great river, once a symbol of their despair, swelled to its former glory, its waters rushing and churning with renewed life. Joy erupted in Ovia. People cheered, danced, and wept with relief. The drought was broken. From that day forward, the village of Ovia never forgot the lesson of the weaver's gift. They understood that true strength didn't lie in grand gestures or individual power, but in the collective efforts of a community, in the smallest contributions woven together with shared hope and gratitude. Aisha, the humble weaver, became a revered figure, not for her magic hands alone, but for her wisdom in reminding them that every thread, no matter how small, when woven with intention and unity, can create something truly extraordinary. Moral lesson: the story of Aisha teaches us that true power and lasting change often come from unity and the collective effort of many small contributions, rather than from individual acts of greatness. Even the most humble offering, when combined with the hopes and efforts of others, can lead to remarkable and transformative outcomes. It's a reminder that we are stronger together, and that gratitude and remembrance of our roots can bring forth blessings.